Yo, Elliot, why is my chest small and elbows are always hurting? Doing a million push-ups. What's going on?
G'day guys, Elliot here from MMT, Bodyworker and Physio here with Ninja. Here we're going to look at how we can get some more bang for your buck out of your push-ups, also why your elbows might be getting a bit sore. Right, so when people get sore elbows, they might be overworking the triceps muscle there, big powerful muscle. What's it do? Extends the elbow, right? So when we're doing push-ups there, some people might be doing push-ups or their bench press, just extending the elbows, but not really using the chest. So if we want to get bigger chest there, Ninja, we've got to start recruiting them. How does the chest work? Let's have a look over here. So when we talk about the chest, we're talking about the pec major here. Can you see how those fibers, they run this way? Yeah, so if they're running this way, that means when they're shortened, they're pulling the arm towards the center line. Okay, so when you're doing dumbbell bench press and you're getting your hands to come towards each other, that's you flexing those pec muscles. But then when you're doing barbell bench press or push-ups, your hands are sort of fixed, and it's very easy to make the mistake of only doing elbow extension. All right, so I had a guy, he could do sets of 60 push-ups, massive triceps, no chest, and he was getting elbow pains. So when we were treating his triceps and the elbow pains were getting better, the elbow pains kept coming back because he wasn't fixing the original problem, which is how he was doing those push-ups. So we had to get him to flex the chest. So Ninja, let's get you down into the push-up position.
Oh. All right. Whoa.
Let's not lose the mic. Okay. So here you can see Ninja's arms there. The hands are not going to move because they're fixed to the ground. So it's very easy for the arms to just do that elbow extension motion, but we want to use the chest, right? So the cue we want to be able to do here is to push the hands towards, when you go up, Ninja, to push the hands towards each other as if they're trying to meet each other at the other side of the floor. So when you're doing that, it looks like you're just going straight up, but feel that power as you go up.
That's it, isn't it?
That's it. So
it's a totally different feeling.
have a look at that. See how he's just flexing those muscles there? That's what we want to get happening, right? So Ninja's telling his hands to meet each other on the other side, but because they're fixed, they won't move, but that muscle will flex. Yeah. Okay, so some of you may have been trying those clap push-ups and struggling to get the power. It's because you're trying to use this to pop yourself up. You've got to be using this, all right?
So it's starting to make sense to me. So I've been doing it wrong all along. So I've been using the small muscles, been fatiguing them, wearing them out, where I could have been using the big ones to get it done. Which reminds me, we're going to do part 2, lats, your pull up.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that as well. What we're going to do now? Treat me.
All right, let's get into it. So,
face down or up?
Let's go face up.
Face up.
Face up. I like to see the face.
Right.
So even though we're working the triceps there, as some of you have been watching some of our other videos, I'm all about the pinch.
The pinch. It's feeling the pinch.
All about the pinch.
Yeah.
So triceps, all right, where everyone knows the biceps on this side and the triceps on that side. All right, triceps is a big muscle, 3-headed, that's why they say triceps. All right, so it's coming here, here, and here. Big muscle crosses over the elbow, crosses over the shoulder there. And so when you get the triceps treated, or if you're working with someone, just because you hit one spot doesn't mean you've done the triceps, right? You may have done just one bit of it. Okay, so with me, I love to get my squeeze on. So I like to grab the muscle like that. Up here is closer to where the shoulder portion of it is. So this is where I can sort of see where that part of Ninja's triceps might be feeling a bit bunched up or a bit tight. And that's where we can squeeze some of that tight tissue. And why we want to squeeze is because we're asking that muscle to unclench, let go of its tension. It doesn't need to hold it when he's just lying here. Yeah, and so up where I'm squeezing there is where you can contribute to a lot of shoulder pain mainly. And every now and then you may have seen some videos, and we might be able to see now, whoop, that's a flick. But you may get some twitching as well. So we're not getting it today, which is okay. It's good. And Ninja's body fat's fairly low, so you can see even his pulse here just going away in his arm. Have a look at his arm there.
Yeah.
That's just his artery pulsing away. The brachial artery.
I'm alive. I'm a real, I'm not AI.
It's the rhythm. Oh, I can't trust anything you watch these days.
Fuck, it might be that good that they're putting a bit of pulse in my arm. AI is getting better. We're keeping it real.
So a bit of a squeeze treatment here. And so you can work different heads of that tricep as well. But for those people who've been suffering a bit more elbow pains, especially the ones that are contributed by the triceps, you might not be getting enough treatment because they've just been working through here. So you can work even closer to the distal end here, so where that tricep starts to cross over into the elbow. Just beware when you get into this region here, you might be hitting the ulnar nerve. So every now and then you'll see this triceps tendon twitch. And that's purely involuntary. So it just shows that we're hitting into the areas that are a bit more reactive. There it is again. How's that going there, Ninj?
Oh, yeah, the nerve. I can feel that nerve where you...
It's going down your hand?
Yeah, into the little finger.
Yeah, so there's that funny bone one there. Just work around it. If it starts to trigger it, communicate with your client and just dance around it. You don't need to pin the nerve itself too much. It's more the tissue that we're after.
Yeah, that feels good.
And some people with elbow pain, they might be getting that dead arm feeling or that tingle into their last two fingers. That means there might be some entrapment of their ulnar nerve, and this is a common place for it to get entrapped. So putting thumb pressure into here to work it can help release the tension around that nerve. And you can see we can play around with different angles because it's such a big muscle. We can explore the texture of it. You know, we're not just hitting the back side of the arm here. We can hit the triceps even from the side and even the front of the triceps, like getting into the side there and then diving back down this way.
Feels so good.
Yeah, so a lot of exercises which ask the elbow to extend and shorten. The triceps is shortening. That can lead to the muscle being contracted. So bodywork is about discovering what parts of the body or what muscles have started to shorten and become stuck, which impede our movement, which can open the door to actually start exploring, okay, how do we get here? You know, is the exercise we're doing, is there a habit? Some people might just be holding their arms a bit more rigid because they feel like that's a way to kind of brace themselves. One time I overworked my triceps at the snow. I was learning to snowboard, I kept falling over. And just the getting up all the time, like that, my triceps cooked just from that. So really like figuring out where that could be coming from can help make a chronic problem go away.
So I've got a two-part question for you, man.
Yep.
Two separate questions. So, you know how some people say, oh, I'm doing everything right, but my pain just keeps on coming back. So that's one question. And the next question is tricep. What is the full range of the tricep, the full stretch of it? So then we can kind of discover how to fully develop our triceps. So you got those two questions.
Oh, yeah. So the first one there, which is a bit more of a general one, where people say, I'm doing all the right things, but this elbow pain or this neck pain just won't go away. Well, is that all the right things then? Because I guess it's all the right things by someone's book, but your body knows something else, right? There's still a problem. Right?
There's a reason.
There's a reason for it. So we don't fully understand at this point, you're not just fully understanding what the cause is. So then, okay, once we understand the cause, then we can address it and then we know it's the right thing. We don't know that ahead of time, especially when we come to work with someone. We're here to problem solve for you. We're not there when it happened, but we're here to discover. So yeah, you're getting pain here, and as I'm releasing through there, that pain starts to go away. Okay, why did this muscle contract up? And that's where we can discover, okay, is it an exercise you've been doing? Have you been doing arms a certain way? Oh yeah, I work my triceps, but I'm doing it in a short range, you know? So, okay, is that the best way to work it? Can we do it at a long range? So part two, or the second question there is, what other way can we work the triceps? Well, if we're here, remember it's a two joint muscle, so shoulder and elbow there, this is the shortest position you can be in. What's the longest position you can be in, Marcus? It's up here. Actually over here, if anything.
Yeah, stretch the lats out a bit too.
There. That's it. So where the lat and where the triceps come together there, that's where it's at full length. So to train it, you can use things like the cable machine, where you've got a weighted cable on one end like that, and you hold it over here. You can hold it with two hands if you want to. Some people do these kind of skull crusher based exercises. Think about how long you can make that triceps, how much you can present as much length like that, and let that weight put tension on that muscle. Contract the triceps this way and then slowly let it go this way. But that's not it. That's not just it. We can also move the cable into one direction here to really get length in the right arm. and then go forward and move this way to get length in the left arm there. And in that way, you're letting that part of your body experience its full length, right? Because when in day-to-day are you going to be moving into this position, right? Not many of us do that. So over time, that muscle just doesn't get a chance to really fully lengthen out, and will start to shrink up and shrink up and shrink up and shrink up. Yeah, that's how we get that tightness.
Have you seen those with the big metal hammers or whatever they're called?
Sledgehammer?
Yeah, they're sledgehammers, but there's also the big wooden ones that are kind of, they'll do muscles, stuff like that, like from, I don't know, Iran, I think it is.
Oh,
they
the
do that
Indian,
kind of,
I think it's an Indian-based exercise, but yeah, it's like a pole with a heavy weighted end.
Yeah, and they're doing all this swinging it around, and
yeah, that's mobility exercise. So they're developing the fascial systems, not just in their arms, but all the way down the front chain. Because so many of us are in this kind of short and contracted position. So that's a good way to help stimulate the front part of the body to control the weight to come around. Because mobility and flexibility is not just stretching, right? Stretching is pulling the tissues. That does help to lengthen, but it's about controlling our body to go that way. That's where real strength comes from, being able to come over this way. I guess a more modern version of that would be dead ball slams.
Yeah.
Right, so dead ball slams there, you might be throwing with your arms there, but you can also use the whole front chain of your body as it comes up there, at full length, tensioning and then slamming down.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually working those triceps and abdominals in that long end range, eccentrically and then concentrically down.
Yeah, and you can go from floor right over to the other side, things like that, so you can really, stretch it out over the top of your head.
Yeah, so that's fun. That's a good way to explore the mobility of your body. It's also a good way to explore your strength too. You know, being able to just grab a ball, use the power from your legs, push it up into the weight, throw it up and slam it down there. You can feel the whole body being very integrated with that.
Yeah.
It's a good way to expend some energy without hurting your joints, you know, because you want to be exercising. When you're exercising, the aim I find is to get more function out of your body, you know, not shut it down.
Yeah.
So good ways to explore some movements there, especially through the long range of the triceps.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so give that a go, guys. If you're in the gym there, start slamming the balls, grab a pulley, get into that long range of the triceps there, trying to explore that range. And also think about when you're doing your push-ups, flexing the chest, bring the hands towards each other.
It will make a massive difference. I'm amazed how it felt.
Pump
Use
up
the
that
big
chest.
ones. Use the big ones.
Get it done.
Done.